Standard Gains Podcast, episode 10, take 1.
Here we go. And as of right now, we have around 130,000 downloads, views, subscribers, everything combined in every single platform. Thank you guys so much for the support. And we see in those stories, keep sharing it. That means a lot. And let's grow the podcast to almost 10,000 subscribers. But today we have a guest called Max, all the way from Germany, who is an 18-year-old who is about to go to his first men's physique contest. And 18 years old, that's really young. And that is very interesting as well to see how he's really, going to something that is taking so much dedication and so much time. But what I found most interesting about this podcast is the mental health aspect. An 18-year-old going through a lockdown and what he's experiencing. He at some point was talking to a wall. There is so much interesting stuff in here, and also so much. Well, I feel like it's so relatable to a lot of people watching or listening. Welcome. Who are you? Explain a little bit about yourself. Tell us a bit.
Right. My name is Max. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Hamburg, Germany. I came to Bob for a few days just to visit him, to get a little bit outside of Hamburg because we had a lockdown for like 8 months there. I'm a men's physique competitor. Actually, I haven't competed yet, but I'm still in my prep. Going to compete on the 11th of July. I'm super excited about that. I do Instagram as my hobby, so to say. Post a lot of content there, and would consider myself a content creator.
Nice. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
So as always, we will start with a few dilemmas. You can only pick one, and then you have time to actually explain later.
Right.
So the first dilemma.
A little bit of a maybe cliche one, but what is more important, a relationship or men's physique, working out?
Well, the funny thing is I came out of a relationship a few weeks ago, so I would definitely say men's physique.
Oh, that does not sound like a great relationship.
But we get into explaining it later. All right, so the second one. What is more important, mental health or physical health?
Oh, mental health, for sure.
Okay, and the last one, stay at men's physique level competition or go to the IFBB Pro and you got to start using steroids.
Answer now.
IFBB.
IFBB. Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so you said I just came out of a relationship, so the men's physique is more important.
Yeah.
Working out, preparing, stuff like that. That's number one. That takes spot number one.
Yeah, for sure. Because I noticed that people just come and go. You can't rely on people that much. And you can only rely on yourself, right? So anything you do, you have full control over, which is, for example, prepping. People can leave you at any time. People can come into your life at any time. And it would be pretty naive to think that everything's going to stay the same forever. So
it's an interesting mindset. I mean, it's a statement. I think that it's very obvious that the breakup probably wasn't the easiest and nicest breakup possible.
Well,
if you say this.
It was my first relationship.
For how long?
For 4 weeks. So you couldn't even call it a relationship, to be honest. But yeah, so I noticed that focusing on myself is much more important.
I do really agree with the fact that you say focus on the things that you can actually control, right? Because there's a lot of things, and that's definitely something we'll be speaking about today, that are out of your control. So I definitely agree with that. I think it's a good way of looking at it, also an interesting way of looking at it.
I laughed because I thought it was literally like a 4 or 5 year.
Yeah.
No. Okay, because you sound like it.
But the issue
it definitely hurt you.
The issue is if you have a short relationship and it's not you who breaks up, you're still in the phase of really being in love, and I think then it also hurts a lot.
It definitely hurts. Yeah, definitely. So I'm not, but I just expected something like 5 years, and all of a sudden she cheated on me, something like that. But
the big thing that really hurt me was that she was the one who initiated and she was the one who ended in like 4 week span. So
that's short.
Yeah.
In terms of it's definitely a statement, and I definitely get where it's coming from, especially because you can rely on yourself and you're prepping. So in that mindset, you're definitely working on that, and you're focused on one thing and you're trying to succeed. And if something is going on for 4 weeks, and it probably maybe even took a little bit of a toll on your prep, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there you go. And then it feels like wasted time and wasted. Exactly. So I definitely get that. But I do think that you sometimes have to rely on some people around you to also maybe you just
100%.
pour your heart out, or just rely on the social connections. So, but I definitely get it from your point of view, especially if you're prepping so hard for a competition. So
He already said like it probably had influence on your prep. Like what did it do? Like the breakup, but anything that just happens straight, because the prep is of course full focus. You really need to be, that's definitely what we're discussing today. How did it influence all of that?
Well, it didn't influence my will to go to the gym and to work out, or well, to work out in general. That wasn't really the case. It was more the case of eating.
it's
Right, it's always
I
the
wanted to say
eating.
that
Yeah.
it's always the
Always the
eating.
eating,
Like
yeah.
the working out, you actually sometimes want to work out even more
Yeah.
because you just ate a little bit of like, shitty foods, and then you're like, all right, I need to make up for it, or
Yeah.
I just want to go full at the gym now, and maybe you're like maybe high on sugars, and you want to just get that energy out of you. So that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. All right. So the second one, mental health or physical health.
Yeah, I said mental health for
Yep.
sure because, well, I would consider myself pretty fit, right? Like I can deadlift 200 kilograms, bench press like 130 kilograms, and squat 180. Even though I don't look like it, and my legs don't look like it at all, but I still can do it. Believe me. No, mental health is way more important because even though you look fit on the outside, you can be absolutely destroyed and, well, obliterated on the inside. So having a strong, good mental health is, yeah, way much more important than being able to bench press 130.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that the reason why we ask this is because 2 episodes ago we said, we should find a dilemma where we really disagree on, and one of the subscribers said maybe this is something you guys disagree on, because it's a funny thing if you ask me. If your physical health is really shit, I believe your mental health will be shit as well, because moving and exercising is so important to be mentally fit.
Yeah.
However, if your mental health is shit, you probably won't go to the gym, you won't do the things you should be doing, and then your physical health is also shit. So I think it's very hard to take apart, but I do think that it all starts with the mental health.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that well, luckily we can have both if you combine it correctly. But the thing with prepping, that's why this question is also more interesting in this case, because if you do prepping, it can take a toll on, well, both because you are focusing so much on your physique, but you're shredding so much that your physique feels like you're not fit enough because you're in such a low body fat percentage.
True.
And also your mental health will go down with that because you're just maybe even like your social life is maybe zero sometimes. Depends on the prep and the person.
What's your plan for the next 7 weeks?
Literally just self-isolate and full-on prep.
I mean, yeah, you told me this earlier, so
There's a chance that that's going to take a toll on you.
For sure, yeah.
Mentally.
But I've prepared myself mentally for that. I tell myself, of course, I'm going to meet my best friends, right? I'm going to go out and photo shoot with my best friend, who's my photographer. So that goes like hand in hand. But yeah, like I won't go out partying. Of course, I won't drink alcohol because you can't do that in the prep. And yeah, actually everything, well, the lockdown ended on Saturday. Last Saturday. Everything opened back up. I've seen a ton of stories on Instagram from people in bars drinking, clubbing.
Yeah.
I know that if I will go there, at some point I will probably drink a beer or two, or, like once the gate is open, it just floods in. So
yeah, for me, if I would be talking like from my point of view, it would definitely be like sort of that. But I would know I would just eat too much probably, or something like, they are eating that. I do not drink ever, so I do not really have that problem. But I would definitely see that could be a problem.
We've spoken about peak performance quite often on this podcast, and the most important thing if you want to reach certain goals is fixing your environment. So again, the example we said is if you want to lose weight, you can either have really be strong mentally and say, I'm not going to get that ice cream or chocolate from the fridge, or just don't have it in the fridge. In this case, I don't want to be drinking. So you can either go to a bar with your friends who are all getting shit-faced and
not
try
drink.
not to drink, or just don't go for 7 weeks.
Right.
So I get it, but at the same time, I mean, we could make the bridge. We'll probably talk about this. You've had some issues with self-isolation in the past, or sort of. So is that something that you are very aware of or scared of right now?
no, because I've been there. I know what it's like to be there, and I know how to get out of that. We can switch to the topic of living alone, right? Because that's what I do. Like I'm 18 years old and I'm living alone since, well, almost 2 years now.
Since your 16th, that's
No, since my 17th, since August 2019. So almost 2 years. And yeah, in the beginning it was very, very hard. Of course, like
is there a specific reason for that?
yeah, my parents broke up. We moved out with my mom. After a year, they got back together, and I just didn't feel like staying with them anymore. I wanted to try something new, and we had the other flat, so I just moved in there for a few weeks. It was quite okay. It was hard, but it was better than living with them. No front to my parents, but it was way better living alone. In the beginning, it was quite hard, of course, like cooking, doing all the chores by yourself, right? Like doing the dishes.
I know someone else who will have some issues cooking when they move out of themselves. Sorry, do continue.
Yeah, and it was hard in the beginning, but after some point, you just get over the fact that you live alone and that you don't have anyone asking you how was your day if you come back home, and at some point you just go on automatic mode and just live your life.
How was your day? Does that sort of bothered you?
Sorry?
How was your day?
No, it didn't, but it's like the typical kind of
I mean, that's
question your parents
on the
ask
other hand,
yourself,
like you're still 18 or you were 17.
Yeah, you just turned 17 back then, so
it's not like you're. I mean, it's good that you're sort of taking those steps and you're glad you took those steps, but obviously, like still. I mean, your parents are sort of still like you're their child. So, I mean, I get that they're not treating you as an adult yet, and you felt like probably being treated like that.
No, they weren't treating me like an adult whatsoever. They tried to help me, but I just didn't want the help. I wanted to figure it out myself. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe because we're on this topic now, and then we'll go more to our standard questions we normally have. So that was sort of a good thing, but then you were young, you lived by yourself, and lockdown happened.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, of course, you have to differentiate between before the lockdown and during the lockdown. Right before the lockdown, I had friends basically all the time at my place, had house parties and all that kind of stuff. And once lockdown started, people really started to distance from you because of COVID. Well, self-explanatory. And yeah, that really hit me. Like I really fell into a hole because of the gyms. They closed. I couldn't go to train. Couldn't go to the gym. And the prep got canceled as well. I actually wanted to compete last year already. I was 9 weeks into the prep, and then it just got canceled out of the blue. So there were a lot of factors that just, hit on me at once. And I fell into pretty deep hole for like 2 weeks.
What happened?
I was feeling lost. I didn't know what to do because all the goals that I had, which were, going to the gym, getting leaner, getting my prep done, everything was like taken away from me from like one day to another. Mm-hmm. And I had to reassess my goals and what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So that took like 2 weeks.
I mean, it's fortunately not too long, but can you tell a bit like what was your life like in those weeks? Like, was it really, because I think there's a lot of people, that's why I sort of want to get into this, a lot of people that can probably relate to this, especially young people who, especially if you live on your own, everything was closed, so they can probably relate. And also, how did you get out of that as a follow-up question?
Right. My daily routine was waking up at 10, laying in bed until 2, probably making breakfast, eating something, then going back to my bed, watching Netflix, and just rinse and repeat. So that was basically all I did for like a week.
Yep.
After a week, I noticed, okay, this can't go on for any longer. I have to do something. Then I stood up, did maybe 10 push-ups, maybe even more. And from day to day, it got better and better. So to anyone who struggles with that, with being productive or getting up and doing something, start with very, very small things. For example, if you struggle with standing up, stand up and just brush your teeth. That will already help you. Or stand up and make breakfast. Stand up and do the small steps, and eventually you'll get to the point where you can make stuff go to the gym.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's cool. We actually had one more dilemma.
We have one more dilemma, yeah.
Which I found very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you said, go for men's physique or IFBB Pro, where you have to use steroids, correct?
Yeah.
So you chose the IFBB Pro path.
Right. Of course it depends. Why I was thinking so much about that question is because it depends. I've never been on the stage. I want to go on the stage and I will go on the stage. I've prepped for in total probably over 20 weeks now, with last year and this year combined. And if I like it, who knows? Maybe I want to take it to the next level and go to the IFBB. Of course, you got to start taking stuff then. But
is that, you say, of course? I think people who are not into that world, is it just no chance you can't even go if you don't take anything?
Well, it's an untested league, right? So if you go there, people expect you to take something. Like if you show up natural, people are gonna ask you, dude, what the hell are you doing here? Because you just don't have any chance of winning. Well, of course you do if you're like a genetic beast, but if you're not, which 99% of people aren't, including myself, then you just don't have a chance. They're natural.
Yeah, so I think there's an interesting view at the world as well, at that world specifically, because you have never like set a foot on stage, but you do have like opinions already, which is interesting to see because you see this world in front of you, and you're probably expecting something from the stage, but maybe even you don't even like it.
Maybe, yeah, that could also happen. But I know that I like to be on stage. Like I've played in school musicals, and I've been on stage multiple times. And I just like being there. I don't know, just like being the point of attention.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Especially if you put so much work into it. Definitely, I get that.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, I do think, just to get back to that topic, it is sort of interesting because I think taking supplements, let's call it that way, but taking steroids is a very big step because it will affect a lot of other things in your life as well.
Sure.
Have you already thought about that in the past? Like, should I be using something?
Have I thought about it? Yes. I think everybody who says no lies. Because let's be honest, who doesn't think about taking something to just get better, right? And if you love bodybuilding, if you love building muscle, if you love looking shredded and good, you have at least once in your life considered taking something to enhance your performance. Have I ever taken that? No. And right now I wouldn't, because like I'm still 18, right? I would mess with my testosterone levels. Who knows? Maybe I would fuck up myself so hard that I would have to take TRT like for the rest of my life. For everyone who doesn't know what TRT is, it's basically testosterone replacement therapy, which means that I would have to go to the doctor to get testosterone to be on my natural level, so to say. But yeah, like I wouldn't take it now. No. Who knows? I mean, like I said, I wouldn't take creatine when I started working out. Now I take 6 grams of creatine every single day. So opinions change over time.
You definitely said that. Like,
yeah, I literally thought it was like steroids.
Yeah, lots of people. So because you just said, let's call them supplements. Let's not call them supplements because a lot of people that are, especially in the calisthenics world, think that supplements are steroids and think whey protein is gonna get you killed.
Yeah, yeah. Remember how we had a call with someone for our other channel, and he said, I watched your video and we're protein pancakes. Cool, I want to make it. But my parents said I'm not allowed to take it because that's weird supplements.
Yeah, that's what I meant, like would get you killed by your parents, because like that's most of the time the age of people thinking that steroids is indeed like, or supplements are steroids.
My parents were the same. When I started working out, like the first 2 months, they just wouldn't let me buy protein powder. So I took $20. I remember I took $20, went to the
from yourself or from your parents?
Yeah, from myself. Of course,
I took $20.
Of course, I wouldn't ask my parents to give me money for supplements because they would say no.
So I robbed my parents, and then
and then I had to live on my own when I was 16.
Yeah, maybe that's a real story. No, I went to my local gym where I was training at, and went to the vending machine, bought myself a kilo of like the worst protein you could actually get, but I thought was like the...
Wait, was it natural flavor? Because a lot of people first order natural flavor. Little tip, if you ever use protein powder, don't do like flavorless. Well, wait,
did you say don't do natural flavors?
Well, like flavorless, without flavor.
Yeah, don't do flavorless protein. It's disgusting. It's good for cooking, but it's disgusting to drink.
Yeah, so I mean, I had like an English teacher. He was massive, and he was always like, go for a natural one. Go for no flavor, no artificial stuff. I mean, he has a point, but you have to put it in like a shake. And
but even then it
depends on how much fruit you add to it. Like you still got it. But for a first time user, you gotta probably go for a flavor.
Right. Oh, sorry, so you went to the vending machine.
Yeah, so I bought that bag of protein, and I remember looking at it, and I was like, okay, here we go, let's grow. Went back home, hid it in my closet, and every single time I would come back from the gym, I would just take the shaker, put it under my shirt, go to my room, and just shake the protein shake so that my parents wouldn't notice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story. All right, I think that's it for the dilemmas for now, and we're always interested to know. So. And then based on your prep, so what does a standard day look like for you? What do you have to do every day to prepare?
Well, the most important thing is, of course, eating, like getting my meals in, getting my calories in. I wouldn't consider myself a hard gainer because I don't think there's such a thing as hard gainers. If you just eat more, you will gain muscle earlier or later, sooner or later. But I would say it's kind of, well, my metabolism is very quick, like very, very quick. My, how do you say it? My maintenance calorie level is 4,000. Like if I eat below 4,000, I will lose weight. No matter if I train hard or less hard, I will just lose weight. If I eat 4,000, I will keep my weight. And if I eat above 4,000, I will slowly, very slowly, increase my weight.
So you're at a strat right now? Mm-hmm. So you eat like 3,500 calories?
I eat 30, yeah.
That's cool. I wish I could do that.
I wish I could do that, but
Eat
I
that
probably, I mean, that's what I would always say. But is that true? Like, do you like it? 3,500? Because it sounds like a lot of food.
No, it's a lot of food, yeah, as you said.
But for shredding, like...
For shredding, yeah, it's a lot of food. I mean, like, I'm basically eating or cooking all day. And in between, I'm trying to edit my videos or photos. But
So there we go to the standard day. So the standard day is all about food right now.
Yeah.
Probably workout.
Workout, of course, yeah.
So you wake up and then...
I wake up, make breakfast, sit in front of my PC for like 2 to 3 hours, edit photos or videos. And then I go to the gym, usually. Go to the gym, stay there for like 2 hours because I do very long rests in between sets. I'm way too much on my phone in the gym. That's something I should work on. Yeah, then I come back home, eat my oats, sit in front of the PC, watch some YouTube videos, eat more, edit more, and then I go to bed. So that's like my usual day.
You can't go to the gym right now. Right? So in Germany.
Right.
We just opened up here in the Netherlands some gyms, so that's nice. But like, what do you do when there's no gym? Do you work out at home? Do you do calisthenics workouts at home? Body weight?
I have 2 dumbbells at home, and I have a, what do you call this thing?
Barbell?
No, barbell, pull-up bar.
Oh, a pull-up bar.
At home. So that's
a doorway pull-up bar.
Yeah.
Haven't fallen down yet?
No.
Nice.
I haven't.
That's a good one because most
fall down. Yeah, mine hasn't fallen down yet. So I can do pull-ups. I can do rows. I have 2 dumbbells, as I said. I don't have any resistance bands. I know that you're a huge fan of resistance bands.
Resistance
right?
bands are yeah.
I like them as well. I just haven't ordered them.
I mean, you can use them for literally everything. So if you use them,
true.
Someone says like resistance bands are useless, then you're not using them right.
I mean, even yesterday, because we went out to take some photos yesterday, and you said, "Oh, maybe we should take some resistance bands so I can get a pump for the photos outside." I mean, that works really good as well.
It just fits in every single bag. Like it fits. If you get a small one, it fits in your literally like in your pocket. So I mean,
so it's a good way of getting a pump before a photo shoot. Just a quick tip right there. No, but I can do basically anything. I mean, like if I want to train my chest, I just lay flat on the floor and do like floor presses with the dumbbells. I can do flies with the dumbbells. I can do lateral raises with the dumbbells, curls, push-ups of course as well. So yeah, you can do so much stuff with just dumbbells and the pull-up bar, but most people just don't realize it because of course it's easier to go to the fridge, open the fridge and take something out than doing the pull-ups or the rows with the dumbbells at home. So I do understand why a lot of people struggle with motivation at home.
Me too. I have a gym here, so that's like easy for me. But if I wouldn't have had that, I would probably still be working out where I normally would, which is my backyard. But I do see around me that a lot of people have the trouble of just, they lose that routine, like going to the gym, and then they're like, I can do it here at home, but it's never going to be as good as in the gym because that's my routine right now. So I get that. But at
the same time, it's also the mindset. So actually,
it's the mindset. It's
the mindset. We were in a gym yesterday working out, and the guy working there came up to me and that said, "Oh yeah, I see that you've been able to at least do some shit because your physique still looks good." And he was actually speaking about that because he lost his motivation, even though he works in the gym. So he said, I should have done that as well because now I have to start like so far back again. So it's just, even if it's not optimal, I would say still do the things you can do.
Still do something to just maintain your muscle, just to keep it. Because if you lose it, it will come back much quicker due to muscle memory. It will come back around 3 times faster than you lost it. So if you do a 6-week break, it'll come back in around 2 weeks if you train hard and eat well. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, like if you lose motivation and stop training completely, you will lose your gains. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
I remember 1 year after I started training, I took a photo for my transformation, and I got sick that night. So I took the photo and got sick. And I was so sick that I couldn't get out of bed for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I was healthy again, went to the gym, took a look at the photo, and I noticed that it literally looked like Photoshop because it did not look anything like that. This, like, bodybuilding fitness is very unforgiving. So if you stop training, expect to lose everything pretty quick. Yeah, and like, I don't know, like 50 push-ups, 50 pull-ups a day can also already help.
Oh,
So,
definitely. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Because we all don't train legs, so that's gonna be
Exactly, yeah.
Wait, he said it doesn't look like it, but I do train legs.
Ah, yeah,
that's,
that's
you
true,
know,
true.
that's good to say. I want to go back a bit more, if you will allow me to that mental health state, because we spoke about this prior to the podcast, and you even told me how bad it got. Are you comfortable speaking about that?
Yeah,
a bit?
sure.
So how bad did it go for you?
Or maybe how like the story towards it. So if you go to how did it, like, what happened and how did it happen? So we'll start from the beginning.
Well, I tried to reach out to people and meet some people, but a lot of my friends have, well, older parents, so they were like a risk group, right? They didn't want to go out, they didn't want to meet up, so I had to stay at home, and I actually used my Instagram stories as like a sort of diary, and I was like, "Hey guys, so day six of the lockdown, what are we gonna do today?" And at some point, it just went crazy and just didn't give a shit about what I was saying there. Well, I didn't say anything bad, but it just was. Looking back, it was like so funny what I was talking about. I started talking to the wall.
Oh, nice.
So that was a thing. I started flying my drone in my flat, flying through the balcony door. I actually ended up crashing it.
But I mean,
So-
you really go fast over. I started talking to the wall, but that is sort of quite
Yeah, I
a
started-
serious
yeah, well,
thing.
On your Instagram story.
No, just to his
in
wall,
private, in
like when
private.
he was alone.
Oh, okay. So I got a bit confused there because I was like,
yeah.
are you gonna? Okay.
Right. No, I started talking to my wall in my living room because I just didn't feel like anyone else is there. Of course, the wall, it wasn't there as well, but yeah, I felt very lost, very alone.
Alone, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like as well. But because of, you would say that it is because of lockdown,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because, well, if I would have been able to meet up people, I would have been able to go out. I would have been able to actually do something and move. But I was stuck in my flat for 2 straight weeks. And if you're stuck in a flat for 2 straight weeks, you don't see anything else for those 2 weeks. You see your bed, you see your fridge, you see your kitchen. That's it, right?
Did
So,
you go outside?
I didn't.
No, not at all. Maybe that would have, like, it's all just in hindsight, but just walking outside, seeing.
Maybe would have helped, yeah. Looking back, maybe I should have done that. And I could have actually done that because I was allowed to go outside.
Just
but I
walking.
just
But
didn't,
yeah,
didn't
Yeah.
do it. I don't know.
I think it's interesting because our human nature is it's so important to see people, even if it's not your friends. Just being around people is so important for mental health, and that's also why I asked the dilemma, and it's also why I think, 2 weeks might not sound long to people, like 2 weeks inside, but 2 weeks can really impact you a lot if you are not seeing anyone.
Yeah, true.
And then you think, I speak like on social media to the camera, so I'm having
Yeah.
interactions, but that isn't an interaction.
It's not the same, no.
No.
Of course, I had a lot of replies, a lot of people texting me, asking how I was doing, but I didn't do a phone call, I think. I didn't do a single phone call except from my mother. So I just talked to her once in a while. Looking back, I don't know why I didn't FaceTime or something, but that really hit me. Like, I didn't see a human being for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And imagine, like, being alone, straight up alone for 2 weeks. Of course, you can text with people, but texting, it just isn't the same.
So all these things you basically take onto the next prep or the coming weeks that you're going into self-isolation. So would you say that you sort of learned that and really take that
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah, I definitely know how to deal with that now much more, right? Because I can just pick up my phone and call somebody, FaceTime somebody, actually see somebody. Of course, as I said before, I will meet my best friend, like, as the only person. Because also, like, one more thing is people in my age normally don't have the drive to compete on stage or something. They like partying, they like drinking, and that's totally fine. That's just not what I want to do. And they take it very personal. Like, if I tell them, no, I want to stay at home and don't want to go out and drink, they'll be like, oh, so you don't want to meet me, you don't want to see me. They take it very personal. And my best friend understands that, why I don't want to drink, why I don't want to go party, and that's something I really respect, that he actually respects that as well. But yeah, I will do like quite a bit of stuff different this time than last time.
I definitely want to go into what you just said, because I think you and me both have had this as well, because you're not going through the typical path in life. I'm not going through the typical path. So I noticed in the beginning when, for example, when I started posting things on social media, first with calisthenics, then business, a lot of friends were, oh, if we were drinking, oh, you probably don't want to put this in your story because then people see that it's different. And people make like a lot of assumptions about you. And it is something you have to learn to deal with, 100%. I think when you get a bit older, your friends start to understand better, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
But it is a lot of social pressure. And there's a lot of, I think whether it's preparing for stage, being an entrepreneur, being on social media, means that you have to accept the fact that not everyone will understand. But it also teaches you, in my opinion, who like your real friends are and who the people are.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think just as a tip for everyone, if pursuing your dream means that you have to be a bit different from the rest, please pursue your dreams and don't do what people... Don't be scared that people say, oh, you don't want to be with me or something like that, even though that's much easier said than done.
Yeah.
I think, is that something you also
Yeah,
saw?
definitely. I mean, I have a select group of friends, so I literally like have, I'm don't want to miss someone here, but I literally like have 4 friends, like best friends. They're all like amazing and they all understand everything.
Yep.
And besides that, I never go out or something like that. So, I mean, first of all, I most of the time don't have the time for that at all. And I have a girlfriend, and my brother is working here a lot as well, and I have Bob. So I mean,
Big
like
Bob.
that is because when we're talking about my starting phase, I had like 4 main friends. But now, I mean, we got Big Bob here now. So
Exactly.
Big Bob is a great talking spot for me as well. Like there's my 4 friends understand everything, and including like the guy in the blue shirt knows everything, like Arjen,
sure, yeah.
everything about YouTube. But besides that, not really the entrepreneurship part, and that's where Bob comes in. Like we can talk about everything and understand each other, so that's cool. So
I think in general, just to make that broader, is another very cool concept. Of course, they always say you're the average of the 5 people close around you. Okay, but I think even more important is it is so important who you surround yourself with. We've spoken yesterday, actually, when we were in the car to the gym, about how I always feel bad saying this, but I have different friends for different purposes. So I have some friends which I really love, and they talk about football, cars, woman, beer. That's it. Which is amazing, because sometimes you don't want to talk about business. But I have other friends, if we speak about crypto, stocks, business, and that will really help you get to the next level. So I think it's good to be aware, like, what are my goals? Where do I want to go in life? And who should I surround myself with most of the time? Although it's great to have also friends to just have fun with. And
that's like the thing, right? Like being 18 years old, you have like 17, 19, 20-year-old friends.
Yeah.
And most of the time they just don't know what they want out of life. And that's fine, that's cool. But if you're someone who knows that, you want to surround yourself with people who also know that. So yeah, that's why I sort of started to isolate myself from those groups.
Narrow down your circle.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense. But I do agree with Bob as well. Like, because Arjen, he knows everything that I know as well, like YouTube, and he really is on that level. Bob as well. But I also have and then the other guys know a lot about YouTube as well and stuff, because we're talking about that. But they also are not too sure what they want in life. Like 2 of them study like law. They go to law uni, and the other one does economics, business economics, and he has no clue exactly what he's going to do. But we also talk about like interesting stuff besides that, or we just like you said, like women, beer, and I don't know, whatever we can talk about here.
Which is important as well, just to
have that as well.
Beyond.
Have that as well. So, I mean, I get the mindset there. I was really like that as well. I mean, I'm not old, but when I was 17, 18, I was focusing 100% on YouTube, and no one around me was like, why? Like, I understand that. Everyone was like, why are you doing this? There was literally, I bought this place here, and there was literally a father from a girl who I went to class with. And she wanted to see it here, and she was like, "Well, back in the day, we all." So he was literally speaking for everyone. We all thought, "Why are you making these stupid YouTube videos?" But now, like, respect, like something like that. So it's all in hindsight.
Yeah. You know how they always say, first they laugh at you, then they want to be at you. That is so true. If you grow on social media, and I even know that there were, especially at football, because of course football it's macho, and you want to you know, again, I love those friends, but when we were with a group of 8 guys sitting there drinking beer, they were all laughing at me. But then one-on-one, they would come to me, yeah, can you also help me like with business or growing my social media? And that is, you know, it's just the group pressure there, and it is this whole social, basically what you said about the school.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It really is like that. Actually, I started back when I was 14, not with fitness, of course, but I started with Minecraft videos. So I did Minecraft Let's Plays and stuff like that.
I was 13 when I did that, so nice.
Nice, yeah. So, everybody laughed at me back then for doing that. I always thought it was cool, and I just kept on doing it. At some point, I stopped because I just didn't see the point and didn't see a future in that, which probably was a good thing now thinking back.
I mean, Minecraft does have a future. Like it's one of the biggest things on YouTube. But I get for you it didn't have, and then you shouldn't do it because
right. Yeah. I used to be very skinny, and I used to get bullied a lot. So maybe that's also something that I have to take into consideration why I stopped. Maybe, who knows?
That's probably the reason why you started going to the gym.
Yeah, it is the reason why I started going to the gym. I didn't like the way I look. I was very skinny, as I said. I was very, how do you say it? I had like a vampire skin. I was very...
Oh, you're pale. So very white.
Yeah, it was very, very white. I'm still very white, but it's getting better.
For the show, we'll have to change, man.
Yeah, I'll...
Oh, yeah. Tanning. You gotta go tanning. You use tanning spray, probably.
Yeah. I started using it like a few weeks ago.
How's that?
It's good.
You like
works. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at you like it because you probably look into the mirror then think, oh damn, I look actually.
Yeah, you see your muscles more and everything.
More definition.
Also in Germany, you say, "Bist du braun, kriegst du Frauen."
Okay.
Yeah, like that's a common saying there, which is kind of funny. So where were we? Minecraft videos.
Yes,
right?
Minecraft videos.
where were we? Minecraft videos.
That's the root of everything, though. Yeah, so I think why I started with Instagram and like with content creation overall was because I had like this creative root in myself. I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos, like a ton of YouTube videos, especially the David Late videos, right? Like his cinematic masterpieces, as I like to call them. They inspired me a lot to start doing that. And I think like because of my roots, I started doing that and going to this creative direction and sort of picking up camera, shooting. So,
Not even brownie videos, David Late videos.
Only David Lay videos. All right, but
let's go to the next topic.
But the funny thing is, I actually did see your videos before meeting you. So
okay,
so
cool.
Good.
Right. So, but you actually, we talked a bit about struggles and about mental health, but that hits you harder, probably also because you're in a prep. Because of
probably, yeah.
I'm not too sure how far you were into a prep, but that's just taking a lockdown into consideration. If you look at the sacrifices that a prep takes, what does it take?
Well, if you really want to be on a strict prep, you can't have any alcohol because it just stops your fat from burning, so to say. You can't have any kind of drugs. Well, you can, but it's going to be harder, right? Like if you smoke pot, you just want to eat. It's just what happens. You shouldn't go out with friends. Of course you should, but not to drink alcohol. You shouldn't go clubbing because the temptation to drink alcohol is always there. You can't go to restaurants. If you see that way, you can, but you have to track it, which nobody does, let's be honest. So you have a very narrow amount of things that you can do, or a very small amount of things that you can do.
But I think also if you go, the leaner you get, that also affects your mood, your whole
mental health.
For sure, mental health.
I have never been stage lean. Like I'm pretty lean right now, but I've never been stage lean. And I've heard from people that being stage lean is literally hell on earth, because everything hurts with every breath you take. You're so lean that you don't have any kind of power to do anything, and you have to train even harder the more you go into the prep, just because you don't have energy. So you have to push yourself even more, and it's like.
So you will find that out if that's true, or
I'm very looking forward to that.
Nice.
It sounds weird, but I'm looking forward to that.
I think that's the only way to do it, right? If you would really think, it's going to be so shit, then you won't be able to make the sacrifices needed to really go to that next level and to be able to, because you're not joining, I'm assuming, just to participate. You want to win.
I want to win. I will win.
Exactly.
So,
and again, I think that is back to the mindset. It's so important because if you just go somewhere and think, we'll see what happens. Of course, hey, there's things you want to try in life and go for it. But yeah, if you want to make these kind of sacrifices, you have to believe that you're going to win, and that's.
Are your peers, like your competitors as well, that you're competing with, are those the same age?
No, they're older than me.
Older?
Yeah.
What age?
Over, I think it was 21 or 23, so quite a bit older.
Why
And you
are
want to win.
Yeah,
Why are you competing in that class?
because I signed up too late.
It sounds to me like you definitely should have the mindset of winning, but that's going to be very hard because you're 5 years behind of them.
It's gonna be hard, yeah. It's gonna be hard, but like I've talked to a few people that also told me like if you're gonna give it everything, you have a chance of winning. Like it's not impossible to win, right?
It's all
I mean,
about
we-
like your posing and
Yeah, it's all about the posing, the appearance. Like if you have a good smile, my coach says the nicest smile wins. So
fun saying.
yeah, so that's something I have to take into consideration and something I have to work on as well because I just don't smile when posing. It's so hard.
So maybe speaking about that, like the posing practice, how often, how like, yeah.
I used to do it every single morning right after waking up just to get a routine in. I stopped doing that. I should start doing that again.
So every day,
Now
morning,
then-
just in front of a mirror,
Right,
posing.
right. So I post basically every single day, just not every morning. And at first it was very weird because you have like your leg movement, your arm movement, the way you breathe, the way you look into the mirror, the way you smile. It's all so much at once, right? So
Connected, all streamlined.
Yeah,
So,
so-
it's not just one. You do first do this, and then you do like you move your leg, but it's all like
It's,
at the same
all
time.
at the
It's
same time.
smooth, Yeah.
Right. I started with the leg movement because it's very complicated to move your legs. You have to turn around all the time. After that, I started working on my hand positioning because you always have to have one arm at your hip and the other arm just like extended like that. And after that, I started working on my breathing because you of course have to breathe in the right time, at the right moment.
So you can contract the abs.
yeah, to show your abs, to show your obliques and stuff like that. Yeah.
Ooh,
It's very interesting.
That's very
Yeah.
like that's a lot more work than. Well, I knew it was hard. I've heard this before, but like so much to take into consideration that it's just definitely a sport on itself, and then you have to get lean.
Right.
I mean, I can say that it's really hard because yesterday we were creating some videos also for his channel, and one of the things sort of for his channel was like showing a noob how to pose, sort of, because I've never tried it in my life. And first you just showed it, and I thought, right, just by seeing it, I thought, how am I going to do
How
this?
you're gonna?
And then even though you were standing next to me showing it, it was so difficult. And then if we looked at the footage, sometimes maybe I had the position correct, but then also trying to smile and flexing at the same time and breathing. And then
and having your legs positioned correctly.
it actually is really hard. So a lot of respect for that. And also I think what I really like about this conversation is in everything that we discuss, it is very apparent what your mindset is like. So here you were saying, okay, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm going to become the best. I'm going to win. I'm going to push through. And I think that is the mindset in a lot of things that people need to succeed. And you are, what it sounds like, sticking to one thing and not trying 50,000 other things.
Yeah, I recently started reading, actually, like after the breakup, because I wanted to change something. So I ordered the book called It's All in Your Head by Russ. Started reading it, kind of liked it, and noticed that it's important to stick to one thing and just get good at one thing and not try 50,000 different things. So yeah, that's something I really like. Just got.
It definitely sounds like what you said, like you know sort of where you're going and what you want, and some people, friends of you, do not know exactly what they're going, where they're going to. It does sound like you know it, but where do you want to go? What's your goal right now? Short term, probably get the win.
Yeah.
Any long term?
Long term, of course want to grow on social media. I want to be a content creator, just live off making videos and doing what I love, which is creating content.
For others or for yourself?
Both.
Okay, cool.
Both. So I would consider myself a content creator and also a videographer. So I actually make content for my gym back in Hamburg. They hired me as a videographer as well. So yeah, that's where I can see myself. I'll of course try to grow on social media, but that's something not only you can control, but also the algorithm controls. Right, so that's something I have to look into. Also, something I can imagine doing is coaching others, because I just found out that helping others achieve their dream physique, so to say, is very fun. It's a lot of fun, and especially when people notice that, okay, I can change something. When they had like this mindset of, okay, I can't do anything, and they switch to, oh, I can change something. That's just so much fun to watch and to be a part of. So yeah, like online coaching or personal coaching. So yeah, that kind of stuff, in that kind of direction.
Nice,
Cool.
nice. And how's that going so far? As in, you're still very young. So how would your life look like right now compared to where you want to go? So what's your financial situation right now? As in, you're living on yourself. That sounds expensive.
Well, my mom pays my rent.
Okay.
So that's like a big thing I have to take into consideration. I am looking for my own flat, and I am revamping my whole coaching system right now. So I will take that into, attack, so to say, change that up in the next couple of months. I do make a fair amount of money off sponsorship deals. I don't know. Do you know the brand C4? C4 Energy?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we have it, because I only know it because you brought it and showed me.
Right.
But I don't think we
It's
have
the
it here.
fastest growing energy brand in the USA, and they now are also in Germany, and they wanted me to be their athlete or one of their athletes. So that's an income stream for me. But yeah, the next step would be to really get my coaching going and.
Because that's
Step
your
foot
job
there.
right now is social media as well. Do you have a normal job, like a normal
well,
job?
I work at my gym, right? Like
Oh,
as
yeah.
content creation. Yeah, like that's.
Yeah, because you
those
said
are
you
my
wanted to
two-
make that your living. I was like, maybe you do, like, you still work at, I don't know, supermarket or.
No.
No, okay.
I did used to be a sushi boy. So
Sushi boy. Sushi boy.
yeah,
Nice.
I used to be a sushi delivery guy with e-bikes and stuff like that, like riding the bike through the rain, through the storm and everything. So I know how hard it is to make money, or how hard it can be to make money. So yeah, that's like my main, or like one of my motivations is not gonna have to go back to there and like
Yeah, so no school, no college, no uni.
no.
So you're not
fully
doing
focusing.
that as well.
Just fully
Okay,
focus on building your own business,
Right,
whether it's coaching or videography. That's sort of, or of course, can you live from going on stage? Is that something that will supply enough money if you're?
It's hard. It's hard because like only the cream of the crop get top sponsorship deals and everything. I mean,
If you win.
we all know Ryan Terry, for
Yeah.
example, right? He's like the best of the best. Do you know the second place? I don't. So
Probably not,
like
no.
it's only the winner that gets sponsorship deals.
But what if you would win this men's physique? Would you get money from winning?
Yeah.
I
money?
would, yeah.
But is that like
Small
substantial, or
amounts,
is it
no,
okay?
no.
What is the amount
I think like 500 euros or something.
for winning for that competition?
Yeah.
And maybe interesting to sticking with that topic. We spoke about what we have to do for the prep, but I think it also takes quite some money because you have a coach, you
Food.
have food, you
Yes.
have.
You do have a coach as well.
I do, but he's also a friend of mine.
Okay. But
Who I'm also gonna visit doing my prep, of course. So that's good.
What would
Luckily,
normally a coach? What would it normally cost?
well, I had a coach last year in my first prep, and I paid him 150 euros a month for plans and for help and for
Okay, well that's not
24/7
that expensive.
WhatsApp availability, so to say. So I could ask him any.
it's not 1-on-1.
No, it's
No,
one-on-one.
that makes sense because the
Yeah.
price, so 150. It seems like all right.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money if you compare it to the price, because you're going to be spending a lot more than you're going to win. So it's not about, definitely not about the money, obviously.
True.
But you're not also making the money back.
No, you're not. You can, of course, grow your social media while being in a prep, right? The people want to follow you and see how you, how you just get
Yeah,
along.
you
with
got to
the
look
prep.
at it from all the directions,
Yeah.
sponsorships. It's an investment in the entire what you're gonna do later in life. So
Right, exactly. Yeah, like just getting your name out there, like people to get to know you. Yeah, and of course, like if I'm gonna win, if I have a freakish physique, I guess some brands would come to me and try to sponsor me, and yeah.
And probably when you're just like 2 weeks out, you're going to go to 50,000 photo shoots, so you have enough photos for the
Yeah,
rest of the year.
for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, if I think about people I know who do shows, it seems like they're stage ready all year long because they keep posting photos and videos.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense, right? You work so hard for it, you put a lot of money in it. So, yeah.
Yeah, actually, a prep costs, well, quite a lot. What do you think like 8 weeks of prep would cost?
including food and everything.
Including food, supplements, coach, gym membership if you can't train there for free.
Probably going to be costing you probably like between around 3K.
Actually, with the food?
Yeah, with the food.
Could be.
I think it's going to be towards 30K because of all the food. You're spending at least on average with everything you just mentioned, like 200-300 a week.
Yeah, true.
Especially if you need 3,500 calories.
So I would say like 2,500 to 3,000.
Yeah.
That's what you're spending.
And your prize money is 500, so
that's literally nothing.
But again, like I said, it's 2.5K. I mean, how many followers do you have right now?
23,000
on Instagram.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be my social media brain, I'm going to use that, then you're about earning that back with your sponsorship. Not even.
No,
not even. No. Nah, it depends on the engagement as well. So that's good. It's a big investment. Yeah, so you're definitely not no, okay.
But again, good to see you want to get somewhere, you want to reach your goals, so you have to invest, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is,
and it's of course a huge experience you make, right? Like it's a huge commitment you gotta do. You spend literally like right now I'm 7 weeks or 6 weeks out. So yeah, like it's a huge time commitment, time investment you do. And if you don't put in everything you have, you're gonna regret it later down the line, I think. Like if you're on the stage and someone else takes the win, and you stand there like thinking like, oh shit, that could have been me if I wouldn't have drinking that one beer or wouldn't have eaten that one cheesecake. You're gonna beat yourself up over that. Yeah. And so yeah, that's something I don't want to do.
Cool. Well, I mean, I think it's very interesting. It's also, I'm happy you wanted to share a bit about the mental struggles, again, because we know a lot of people have this currently, and I think it can be definitely useful. And it's interesting to hear about a prep and how much actually goes into it and how much you have to sacrifice in order to do it.
But this also was about like lockdown of an 18-year-old experiencing a lockdown. That was interesting.
Especially because, living alone, not having people around you, it's very, I understand how hard that can be. And I know that also people sometimes have this after they get out of a relationship, that sometimes they self-isolate. And I mean, you decided to come here after breaking up just to get out of the sort of zone and
just to get out of my comfort zone, to do something different. Yeah, a lot of people ask me why would you do that? Why would you do that trip? Because, well, it's something very unusual, right? You don't see that every day that someone just goes to a different country to stay with a person they haven't met yet for a few days. But I thought, like, I just want to do it. I just want to experience something new, something different. And
now you're on a podcast.
Yeah,
I
haven't regretted it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's also a cool thing. Like you just, because maybe a little backstory here, we knew each other just through social media, spoke about some things, some coaching things. And yeah, we had briefly contact with you because maybe you were going to film or edit something for us because you were looking for an internship. And then we didn't really speak for some time, and you said, hey, I want to get out of here. Can I stay at your place for like a few days because I want to get out of here? And it's just doing things, getting out of your comfort zone. But as a result, because we didn't plan for you to, it wasn't like, oh, do you want to come on our podcast, come to Holland? But you were here, we had a good vibe, you had an interesting story to tell. So I told Stan, hey, maybe it's cool to be on the podcast. So you also see by doing things, by getting out of your comfort zone, you can actually, achieve things and, call it law of attraction or anything, but by just believing, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to reach this thing. Yeah. You will start taking the steps you need to do to reach your goals. And who knows, maybe on this podcast will help you get more coaching clients.
Who knows?
Who knows? So as a main question we always have, what's your superpower? What is something that you would say, you can say everything. You can be like a little proud of yourself. What is something you're really good at?
I actually have thought about that. I would say like my sense of orientation. Like I really can get along in like a new city or something very well, very easily. Every single time that I travel with a group of friends, I'm the guy who navigates them. Of course, if I mess up once, they're going to be very mad at me. But overall, I used to be Boy Scout for 3 years, so maybe that's what helps me to orient myself.
So you know where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the
I want to make
woods,
a bad joke, but I mean, I think looking at this story, you also really know where you want to go in life. So it's sort of
I like, but I like the superpower. I like the superpower. I think it's a great one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if you're out in the woods with like 2 or 3 more Boy Scouts, we were a very small group. You have to just be able to find your way back to your tent, right? Like if you're going out and searching for firewood, do you say that like that? Yeah. You got to find your way back and bring it back, and otherwise you're just gonna, well, die of cold.
You're gonna die.
As a small boy in the forest, because no one's going to help you.
Like,
You're gonna die.
You're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. As a last question, what's going to be the next big thing? As an 18-year-old, what do you think right now in the world is going to be the next big thing? It's going to be, it can be social media.
okay.
It can be maybe in the bodybuilding world, like in
Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
The colonization of Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the
Are
next
you
big thing?
Elon Musk fan?
I am. Yeah. And I think like all the space travel stuff is gonna be like the next big thing in terms of the history of humanity.
That's a very good answer actually.
Yeah.
So, in what time frame do you think? Are we talking about like decades? Are we talking about like
Centuries?
I
or-
think decades.
yeah?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, think about it. Like 100 years ago, the first ever planes were built.
True.
And where are we now, right? We have like super fighter jets that can take off and land vertically. So who knows where we're going to be in like 20 years, 30 years.
That's very true. It's always funny. Like we always say, we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year. We really underestimate what we can achieve in 5 to 10 years
Yeah.
because our minds just can't keep up with how fast things
I mean,
change.
20 years ago, we didn't even have a smartphone.
So that's also why when people ask like, yo, where are you going to be in 10 years? Like, I don't know. Like I know where I sort of want to go, but I don't know exactly because
Yeah. I mean, you know, like a couple of things you want to have, maybe like in terms of family or a house and those kind of things. But really, like, how big is your YouTube channel going to be in 10 years?
if you would have asked me 5 years ago if I would have had this studio, I would say no.
Exactly.
you
So I think it's a good answer.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, great answers. All right,
All right,
so
yeah.
thank you so much for being here,
Thank you for having me.
for sharing the thoughts,
Yeah.
and I hope people like listening or watching like really found it interesting as well, and
Yeah.
maybe got some information out of it, and definitely like I was very interested by the view of an 18-year-old in the lockdown because I think that's going to be very relatable for a lot
Yeah,
of
for
people.
sure. And if you want to follow Max, all the links to his channels will be in the show notes, in the everywhere, wherever you're listening or
Description
watching.
everywhere.
So thank you so much. Make sure, if you want to see more, we will continue on our Patreon group where we have some bonus content as well. So make sure to check it out. Links are in the description and everything
Anything
as well.
you want to plug?
No, not
You,
really.
not your Instagram?
Well,
it's
yeah.
going to be in
It's gonna be in the
description, but
description, so if
Okay,
you-
maybe just what type of coaching do you do?
online
offer-
coaching. So I do plans, meal plans, workout plans.
But not
all
just
that
for
kind of
people who
stuff.
want to prepare for stage, but just
No,
in general.
all sorts of people. So yeah,
So, yeah.
everybody can.
so
come.
check that out, and yeah, we will see you in the next episode. Share
See
it.
you there.
Smash League. Subscribe. Hey, bell. Goodbye.